Bonjour mes amis, I'm Carol. I'm a 67-year-old retired French teacher and an active musician and singer. And I've just come back from 3 weeks traveling solo in the first week in Greece and the second 2 weeks in France. I spent some time in Paris, which was delightful. Being the off season, highly recommended. Notre Dame at 8:30 in the morning. There's nobody around. Go have a good time. And then I went to a music and dance festival in a little teeny village in Bretagne called Bovel, where hundreds of people show up to dance and do singing workshops and dancing workshops and all kinds of wonderful stuff for about 5 days. So that was really fun. And because my husband would rather stay home with the dog and the cat, I know that I don't have anybody to help me tote my stuff. And so while I'm not a minimalist in my home, my children will confirm, I take as little as possible. Once upon a time, I met a woman who was traveling with her partner through the south of France, heading to India, and she had one little side pouch, and it had one extra change of clothes and knife, fork, spoon. I cannot achieve that degree of minimalism, but at least this I could bring with me without any problems. So let's look first. So what did I wear? This is an old wool jacket that I got from TJ Maxx. Wool is lovely. I didn't bring a raincoat or an umbrella because wool sheds water. And this one wraps across. The only problem was it didn't have pockets. And so I do love to sew, and I sewed a couple of little pockets with scraps of silk in here. Big enough, one's big enough for the passport and the iPhone, and another's big enough for all the credit cards I might need to bring. So I always make sure that I have something so that I don't have to tote around a pocketbook as I'm going through the city by day. I leave that back at the hotel, and I am free from molestation by pickpockets and so forth. They don't touch me. So, and then I just got a 100% Mulberry silk scarf from Amazon. I love it. It's got the Van Gogh or Van Gogh pattern on it with the irises and everything. Super lightweight, really easy to dress up anything you're wearing. And people in France, they're all about the scarves. They all wear scarves all the time. And I had just bought this bag. This is a Mintegra bag that I got on Amazon. It was about 30 bucks. It had actually too many zippers and pockets and pouches. So, you know, let's just look at what it's got in it. So, you know, here's a little purse that I keep on the side. It's got credit cards, some of which are in a RFID blocking sleeve, some of which are not. It's got the change that I say, all the cash that I keep from one time to another. It's got American $5 bills in it because if ever you're in a pinch, there are a lot of places in the world where they're happy to have an American $5 bill. This just barely came in the mail. It is my global entry card. And that means I'm not going to be hassling with long lines when I return to the country, which I still like to do, return to the country. So let's see, I'll throw that over there. And the passport, don't leave home without it. So this is also stamped with the global entry stuff. And I also have my TSA known traveler number and all that stuff. So all those things are very helpful. So that's all we've gotten here. Next one back, I keep my calendar / journal. This one's made by Paperblanks. I love them. I can fit codes, addresses, what did I do, if I'm sending postcards, I've got that, what time is my train pulling out, what is my flight number, all that stuff. I write in microscopic penmanship, and it's also my journal because I write down all the details of what I did that day and what I spent here and what I ate at that restaurant and so forth. So that's great. And I've got my iPhone is now the essential of all essentials when you're traveling is your cell phone, because you can have your plane tickets and your train tickets and your metro tickets can be recharged using this, and your whatever you've got, and it's got Google Translate in it. Although in my calendar, I should say, I wrote down when I first got there the clerk helping me at the Athens Hotel, I wrote down the numbers 1 through 10 and the greetings and thank yous and everything in Greek in that, and then I will always have that. And it's good to practice before you go to any country. Just practice the basics of language. You can't go wrong. So this was very handy also for filming things, because when I was at the festival, for example, there are hundreds of people that all know how to do these old traditional Breton dances. And so I could set this up. This is a new purchase. It's magnetized. It fits to the back of the Magsafe case for the iPhone. And I can set it up anywhere. I can get the angle that I want, and I can record things, no problem. Oh, I didn't even show you the recording side. Oh, there it would be. So that is, it weighs next to nothing. It snaps together shut, and I don't have to worry about the security of my camera, and I don't have to twist and screw things in and so forth to get a tripod to happen. And then I like to bring lots of pens and pencils, and I've got a whiteout pen in here, and I've got a magic marker in here. I've got an old-fashioned eraser in here. Very exciting to me. I'm old. And one time I saw a woman at a different dance festival. She would always bring a little paper fan. And so rather than the mechanized fans that you can now get, if my plane is stalled on the runway for an hour and a half, which I can remember once upon a time happening, and I'm blazing hot because they don't have the heating and cooling systems going, yep, you can take care of that. I bought this in Chinatown in Montreal. It was probably $1.50 US. Again, weighs next to nothing. So if you're carrying it on your back or on your body, you want to pay attention to the weight. So there's another pocket that I don't need. In the back of this, I've got these are some things for the plane. So I've got a silk eye mask, which totally obscures all light. That's great. I've got compression socks, which I only wore going out there. I didn't wear it coming back. No worries. But I don't like them strangling the top of my calves. And so I put a little snip in there. It does send a rundown, but when I travel, it's not a fashion parade. I'm traveling to take care of myself, be comfortable. I do want to look good, but no, it's not all about everything being letter perfect. And also in here I have, let's see, what are these things? I love my new cord. This fits into any USB plug, and it has 3 ends to it. It's got a nice long cord. 3 ends to it. 2 are USB-C and 1 is regular USB, maybe it's A or something. These 2 fit the iPad on which I am filming this, so yeah. 1 fits the iPhone, and this fits the AirPods. And these are something I've started to use more and more. They're quite lovely. You download some shows. These are noise canceling. These are the iPod Pro 2. They cancel the noise out, and I will attach them around my neck with these guys. I know it kind of defeats the purpose when you have an extra cord, but these keep me, if I fall asleep and I'm listening to something, I don't have to worry about if one of these falls out and then I have to go rummaging around under my airline seat. I'm too old for that. I'm not going to do it anymore. So I have this, and that's great. And these are earplanes that I wound up not even using. It's to help relieve discomfort in your ears, pressure. I just yawned. So again, sometimes you buy things thinking you've got to have this or that for traveling. You don't need them, you don't use them. So what was the point of that? I don't know. So that's all I've got for my those airplane necessities or things that I would like to have. In here, here's my beauty kit in one of the pockets. So I've got a toothbrush, a dental pick, some toothpaste that I take from hotels when they have these little tiny things. They're great. Some dental floss. My glasses that are self-darkening, so they double as sunglasses. Can't go very far without those. I have wicked double vision at a distance. So when I lost a pair of these on day 2, 3 weeks in China last November. I lost them right after the Great Wall of China. And was at a loss because I had to rely on my cell phone to be taking videos and pictures of things in order for me to see them clearly, all the spectacular shows that I saw and so forth. So that was great. This is my hair tool. Haha, it's a comb. It's a comb. I don't use all those blow dry things and diffusery things and stuff like that. I cut my hair short. I'm not, as I said, I'm not fashion obsessed. And love me or leave me, you know, take me as I am. And this is on the recommendation of my best friend Megan, who died 3 years ago. Used to show up before every trip, and she would bring me 3 things. She would bring me Ziploc baggies, Kleenex in a little travel pack, whatever brand, and cash. And she would say, these are the 3 things that you could never have too much of. So she would bring those things for me, and I honor that. I carry that forward. So I always have those things on me. And then in the very center of this, I've got, basically it's a little, it's where I keep my food eating things and stuff. I don't travel with a gigantic bottle of water. I travel with this size water, and then I keep refilling it. If I get to TSA and I forgot to drink it, I can easily drink this amount of water. So you don't need, you will find fountains. You can refill things everywhere you go. You don't need the jumbo drink containers, thermoses, all that garbage. And this time I brought, this is a little food container. It snaps together quite solidly. It's got a little rubber on the edges, so it really doesn't spill anything. On my way over, I brought a sandwich to eat while I was waiting for hours in the airport. And coming back, I stopped at Duty Free Shop and I bought some Belgian chocolates, and I ate a couple and I put them in here because I didn't have time to go get breakfast in the morning, a proper breakfast. And it was too long to wait to be able to eat in the plane. So I was glad to have that. And I bring an old school handkerchief because I might need that as a napkin, or just because I'm old. I like to have a handkerchief as well as the Kleenex. And then I bring a little dessert fork and a butter knife and a little regular spoon because I sometimes shop for a picnic if I want to get some yogurt or some soup or a salad. I don't want to eat off plastic utensils, so I bring these 3 antique things, and they weigh next to nothing. No TSA has ever given me any problem with that. So there those go. All right, so I think that's everybody. Yep, all ashore that's going ashore. That's everybody. So what I was wearing, I'll just show you. So this is one, there are 3 other long sleeve shirts that I have. This one, I wanted to wear this because I was starting in Greece, and I wore my blue pants because blue and white are the colors of the Greek flag. And my shoes are made by Wolex. They are Merino shoes. And when they're dirty, you just toss them in the washing machine, or you can spot clean them as you're traveling. This is what I basically lived in. I basically lived in these. So, and I had to get, at the last minute, my bag that I was planning on bringing was 1 centimeter too long for the central flight that took me from Crete up to Paris, and that was on Transavia. And I was texting with them. They said, nope, the dimensions are the dimensions. I said, well, the bag I have is 1 centimeter too long. It's narrower and it's shorter. Nope, nope, nope. So I ordered, this came the day before my trip, and I filled it up and I left the next day. And it's the first time I've taken a backpack since I was early 20s. So the top of this I've emptied out because it just had a couple of books that I bought at the festival and a CD from the festival. And I didn't need to, sometimes I could stuff my wool coat in here if it was a hot day and I'm sitting around in train stations or airports. Stuff that in there. This flips open from the sides, very nice. Very pleased with it. This also, it was about 30 bucks. Maybe it was $33 or something, but Amazon is always having sales. I know a lot of my friends are really anti-Amazon, but living in Vermont, I don't have access to a lot of specialty stores, especially where I'm living. You have to drive everywhere to get anywhere. So So I do that. So I liked the first scarf so much that I bought a second scarf. La la. It doesn't weigh anything at all. And then I have fashion accessory alternatives. The only thing I have on me, I have a little topaz necklace, which is my birthstone. And so I wear that. That's the only jewelry I had. This was a gift to me at Christmas time. And it's an extra shopping bag made of nylon. Again, weighs super light. Guess what it goes with? Same pattern, same pattern. I've got the irises going on. And this way, if I go wild buying souvenirs on my way home, for example, if I'm traveling before Christmas time, I can fill this up, I can put my handbag in it, and that would count as my personal item. And I challenge anybody to say this is not going to fit under the seat in front of you in an airplane. Okay. Another thing that I brought, and I didn't use it, it's my old wool beret, but again, if you're walking in the rain and you're wearing this, it's going to shed the water, and then if a windstorm comes up, your head is not freezing. Your head is, of course, where you lose most of your body heat, and so it was nice to have this, even though I didn't use it. And that's more of an old hippie thing rather than a retired French teacher thing. So, yeah, highly recommend just a simple wool beret. In this pocket, I keep. This is where I stash my box of vitamins and minerals, because the older you get, the more of these things you need, despite what my friends in France tell me that Americans are silly, we don't need all these supplements. I like to bring them. And I also keep in other pouches, like in my TSA bag, I had little tiny Ziploc baggies that had my separate piles of vitamins and minerals that then I could refill this after week 1, after week 2, and I only needed to bring one of the boxes, which is a little bit on the bulky side. And also, this is a wet-dry pouch, and so I kept my swimming suit, which is dry now, but if I would go someplace, like I took a catamaran around Santorini, and so I had my purse with me, had my swimming suit, had a baggie to put it in, so I could put that in my purse, and it would not get the purse soaking wet. Let's see, what have we got? So let's start with the TSA bag. I'm not going to show you all the things in here. It does have eye drops. It has a little bit of makeup. Oh my goodness, please, ladies, you're not on the runway. Leave those giant bags of makeup. Leave them behind. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's like the blow dryers, all the hair tools. You're going to lose your time traveling, beautifying yourself. So in here I do have some mascara, which I wore maybe twice, and some eye pencils, and a little thing lip balm that's colored, so I don't worry about that. But I've got my eye drops. I have a little cream deodorant, Lumi deodorant, which is actually quite nice. When I go to the hotels, I take one of the bottles of shampoo with me, and then later on I can refill those bottles. My most essential thing in here is a refilled shampoo bottle that holds, now, Arnica. I like Weleda Arnica oil, and when you have been dancing or walking, hiking, we had a 2.5-hour hike up in the hills of Bovel, and it was great to have Weleda Arnica oil, because afterwards I could rub my legs down. The morning, I'm not in pain, I'm not stumbling around. I would like to say that I get tons of exercise when I'm home, but I don't. It's only when I'm traveling, so I always have a little container to bring with me for that. I also have a COVID test in here, because you never know when you're going to be asked to take a COVID test. I've got sunblock in here. I also have some solid sunblock over here, and some coconut oil to prevent chafing, and I've got my little NyQuil and melatonin containers there, because I do have a problem with insomnia, so I take care of that. This is kind of a little odd ends thing that doesn't have to go through TSA. It's got the Boiron little tiny homeopathic remedy of Arnica. Again, if I get a big clunk on the head or something like that, it's nice to have that. I've got the solid sunblock. I've got a measuring tape in here, because sometimes you see, for example, a painting. Oh, what are the dimensions on that painting before I buy it? I'll send a message home to my husband, he will measure whatever wall space I want. So, you know, it's nice to have that. I've got a pencil sharpener in here. I've got a nail file. I've got in the bottom, here are some sheets of dry laundry detergent. I wound up not using them because when I arrive at the hotel, first night, third night, fifth night, whatever, I wash my socks, underwear, and the shirt. If it's stinky or dirty, I wash those things. Usually I just use the soap that's in the hotel or the shampoo that's in the hotel. It doesn't matter. Soap is soap, basically. You don't have to be very prissy about those things. I wring them up in a towel. I hang them to dry. I will take them and I will go like this to smooth out any wrinkles. When I have it in the morning, it's bone dry. The wrinkles are diminished. No matter whether you roll or pack or fold in your packing, you'll have wrinkles. So this way, the wrinkles are greatly diminished. And yeah, so, but there's dried laundry sheets if you must have proper laundry soap, whatever. Okay. So what else is in here? Oh, just some stuff. I've got some cough drops. You don't want, for example, if you're on a plane or a train and you have a tickle in your throat, you don't want people to think you have tuberculosis or COVID. So it's always good to have cough drops. I also had some in my purse as well. This is a tech pouch that can also accommodate the things once I'm done with my plane ride. I can tuck those, my little Hydra charging cord and so forth in here. But this has, so one extra cord. It has, here's my European plug. It has 2 places to plug in, but since I don't have all those extra technology needs or beauty product needs, 2 is more than enough. Plus I've got the 3 ends on that thing, so everybody can get charged every night. Over here I've got, this is an AirTag. I didn't use this because I did not think to read the instructions. I just plugged it in my airline seat. It's supposed to communicate with the AirPods. It didn't work. Before my next trip in a couple weeks, I will get it all figured out and I'll let you know. And so I just asked the stewardess for some headphones and she gave me headphones. And I kept them in case I don't get around to reading those directions. So in my purse, in my luggage, and in my car, I keep my 3 AirTags. These are great. If anything goes missing, gets stolen, you can track it because presumably you're going to have your cell phone on your person, which I've got my little secret hidden compartments and pockets in my jacket. So, yep, I've always got that on me and nobody's going to take it away from me. This is a power bank, and that's great with a little extra cord in case I need that. It's an Inuit power bank. Didn't really need that on this trip, but anyway, so there's that. And here's my second pair of glasses, yay! So I never have to go without if I should be careless enough to lose yet another pair. This was a makeup bag that I was offered for trying on makeup back when Burlington had a Macy's or something. And it is perfect for things like underwear because it kind of naturally compresses everything. And in here, my needs are simple. There's a black bra to go with the white bra that I'm wearing currently. I've got a few pairs of regular, not compression socks, and then I've got a few pairs of underwear. Highly recommend Knix period underwear, especially for women of our age. They prevent all those little accidents when you suddenly sneeze harder than you expected or laugh harder than you expected. Check out Knix underwear. Ghastly expensive, but they really do the trick. And I only used this once when we did that 2.5-hour hike up in the hills of Bovel. But this is a collapsible hiking stick, walking stick. And I have had many joints replaced, and I'm trying to preserve my last knee. I had both hips done 2015, both shoulders 2022, one knee done last year, trying to save the other one. So having this when I'm hiking and I'm trying to keep up with my friends in France, they are all so much more active than I am. So I was always la petite dernière. I was always behind, but that's all right. and we go off and we're singing through the hills, and we're having a grand time. So there's that. And I bring, this is a souvenir cup from my favorite Québécois festival, Champ de Viel. It's a little wine cup. So on the one hand, I need a cup by my bed. There it is for water. I'm at a picnic, somebody breaks out the wine. Oui, merci. J'aimerais beaucoup un petit coup de vin. So that's great. And it also, I fold up the walking stick and I stuff the ends in it so it doesn't poke through my bag. Okay. And I had a pair of flip-flops in here, but I took those out. I only wore those once at the beach in Santorini. So, and then the only other thing I have in this bag is my outfits. So my needs are simple. This is an Eagle Creek compression cube. I don't wind up compressing it if I have not gone wild buying souvenirs, because, you know, this way at least the clothing is going to be a little bit less wrinkly. I only needed one sweater. It's a chenille Eileen Fisher sweater. That was handy to have, but I didn't need more than that. I brought, I've just lost about 45 pounds. And so I could fit into the dress that I made probably 30 years ago that I haven't been able to wear for 20 years. And it's just a nice rayon twirly dance dress. It was great to wear something cool and comfortable because at that festival, they'd be dancing into the night, they'd be dancing all day. So that was great to have. This is my other thing that qualifies as a dress. It's my nightgown / beach cover-up / when I really want something else, it's a dress. And it is also rayon, and it also has pockets because everything I have, including my dance dress, you have to have pockets. So when I sew something, I'm sewing in pockets, and if it doesn't have pockets, I'm sewing in pockets. Essential. One merino wool shirt by Wool X, same as my the manufacturer of my shoes. Just a nice V-neck. I like it's a tunic. You can layer that with other things. The only t-shirt I brought, I only wore this once because the weather was not blazing hot. So this is an Eileen Fisher, just a cotton t-shirt with a nice scoop neck. This is a Novica tunic. It was getting close to Easter and I wanted some Easter colors. So when you're deciding what you're going to bring, it doesn't have to be a monochromatic wardrobe. You can still make sure that things go with each other, that all the things go with all the other things. But yeah, don't have to worry so much about being all in black or all in gray or all in brown or all in beige. So, and then these are some Yana D pants. So I only have the 2 pairs of pants, but because of those Knix underwear, which were always clean because every night they get washed. Yeah. And this, I didn't have the right color, but on the inside, this needed pockets. So I sewed, surprise, surprise, I sewed a couple pockets that could actually hold a cell phone and credit cards. So if I'm walking around in the city, don't want to bring the handbag, I can subtly bring those along. So that's all there is to that. So yeah, make sure when you're packing, you know, again, you don't want to try to be leading the fashion parade. Nobody cares. I know that's fine for all the young people. They want to have a different outfit in every photograph that they take of themselves. I'm old. I don't need that. So you can just simplify, use natural fibers. You can't go wrong with natural fibers. I do believe rayon is a natural fiber. It's made from wood. And the merino wool, all the wool things are great because then you don't have to bring a raincoat and an umbrella. So that saves a lot. But ladies especially, you know, if you want to go traveling the world, please go out and do it. And don't make up excuses why it's not going to work out or how dangerous it's going to be. Don't listen to those people, because if you trust your instincts, you talk to people wherever you go, you get a feeling really instantly. You should get a feeling instantly of whether or not a person is a good human being or not a very good human being. And you stick to the good human beings, and you'll be given all the recommendations and the suggestions and advice, and they will appreciate seeing an American traveling in the world, taking an interest in them and their country and their language and their culture. So go for it. Don't let anybody hold you back. I've got a bunch more trips planned. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to encourage me to make more, you can hit the subscribe button. And I'm just about to leave for a 3-week cruise from Cape Town, South Africa, up the west coast, winds up in Barcelona, and then I've got a couple of extra days beyond the cruise in Barcelona. So if you'd like me to feel encouraged to keep going, you just hit a subscribe button and I will do my best. So, bonnes aventures mes amis, merci beaucoup de votre attention et au revoir.